Welcome to the Chronicles of Romero Real Estate. And in today's episode, we have a day in Chris's life. Chris, this is unscripted, unplanned, and I'm going to ask you some questions. So this should be good. You ready?
I know it should be really good considering you just said, hey, click this link, and then I pop up and you're like, I'm going to record you. I'm like, okay, all right.
That's how we do
Yes,
it.
sir.
So I'm going to ask you some questions. And if there's any questions you don't want to answer, just say next. All
All
right.
right, I got you.
So let's see. Chris, how long have you been? How old are you, and how long have you been a roofer?
Man, I've been a roofer for about going on, I think, 4 years, a little over 4 years, and I am 33 years old,
Nice.
and I'll be 34 March 2nd. So, yeah, I hope you got my present ready.
Nice. March 2nd. Gotcha. Gotcha. What time do you usually wake up?
I wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
What in the world? For real?
Oh, yeah, and I don't even have an alarm clock. Like this, I forgot to set my alarm clock last night. We stayed
Oh
up,
my
watched the
God.
Georgia game, fell asleep, and then this morning I woke up 3:30, got ready, went to the gym.
Yeah. What time do you usually go to bed?
Probably about 10:30, 11.
Gotcha. That's crazy. A lot of people definitely can't. I don't think I can do that. Now, I did just started waking up at 4, and that's pretty hard sometimes. But
Hey, mind over matter,
and if you don't mind, it don't matter, right?
sir. And you can always sleep. You will all sleep a long time one day, so you might as well stay awake as much as you can.
That's right. That's right. How many families were you able to serve last year, Chris?
So I think we did. So hold on, I'll tell you. My wife's better at calculations than me. So, so we probably did about 156 roofs last year. So that's about, I say, some of those were commercial. So probably about 120 families we helped last year.
I didn't even know you did commercial.
Yeah, we do commercial. We do a little bit. We did one dabble. I partner with a good buddy of mine. He's a great friend. Me and him will go in sometimes and do some commercial roofs, TPO flat roofs together. We'll do that. But a lot of them, some of our commercial are apartment complexes, townhomes, things like that, to where it's a commercial roof just based off of the fact that it's not owned by an individual homeowner. It's owned by either an HOA community or a property management company or some type of investor.
Gotcha. There's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs and people that really want to start their business watching this video, Chris. If you were to start over on the way that you did the way that you have started your business, because you're doing amazing, but to do even better, where would you start? Well, where's a good foundation for a good roofer?
I would say learn the trade and learn the ins and outs of the job and what you're going to do, and have a focus and goal at hand of what you want to do and accomplish. That way you can keep that in your backhand. Don't go into it just stating, hey, man, I see a lot of guys do this and I want to make a lot of money. Because if money's your forefront, I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do when you feel like, hey, I'm comfortable, I've made enough money? My goal is to always do better every day, try to give back and be able to provide a service to where I'm giving back to that homeowner, to where when I leave, they tell me thank you. And the reason and even if they buy a roof, I feel like I've had homeowners tell me thank you when they buy something from me. That means the most, because if somebody's giving you their money and then they tell you thank you, that means they really feel like you invested
Absolutely.
something into them also. So earlier today, I was with a 78-year-old widow, and me and her sat there, and she was crying. I was tearing up because she was telling me her story and just everything about her. And she's like, "Hey, I just heard you talking," and I was like, "I want to call this guy." She's like, "I've been stressed. I don't know what to do." And I was like, "Hey, God put us together for a reason." I was like, "Yeah, so I'm here to help you. So let's do this together. We're gonna go through it together. I'm your right hand. She don't have kids." And so I'm like, "Hey, I'm your right hand. We'll do this together, and I'll please you every point of the way." And even at the end, if you feel like, "Hey, I want to use another contractor or somebody to refer to this other guy," go ahead. At the end of the day, I feel good just knowing that you were taken care of. So that's my main goal every day, is to treat people the way I want to be treated. And also, like, I grew up with a single mom, and I saw people come in and try to charge crazy amounts to do a job just because they saw she was single, or they thought, "Hey, I can get over and get this." So that's my goal, to make sure everybody's getting fair treatment. And I mean, like I always tell people, whether you live in a doghouse or you live in Chateau Line, I'm gonna price you the right price, the same price, not based off what you make or where you live, based off the job. So that's my goal.
Yeah, definitely making a name for yourself and having that awesome reputation that you have. And after a while, people seek you, and it's because of the way that you treat people. Whenever you first started, did you have to do a lot of door knocking, or where did your business come from?
Yeah, when I first started, I mean, I went door knocking all the time. I used to love door knocking in the rain because everybody was home. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's not home when it's raining. So I go out and door knock in the rain. And then I just started building relationships and talking to people. And I went and educated myself on, like I said, the trade. And I just took the time to learn. And I was like, "Hey, if I'm gonna do this," I tell you the biggest thing that got me when I first started roofing. Everybody's like, "Hey, go knock doors, go knock doors." So I went and knocked doors, and I met homeowners, and I was good at knocking doors. And then I got a customer, and they had a new roof, but they had a leak. And he was like, "Hey, my roof's new, but I got a leak," and I couldn't find the leak. It's like my second month in it, I couldn't find the leak, and it stressed me out so much that I couldn't find the leak. And I was like, "How am I calling myself a roofer? I'm out here telling people, 'Hey, I'm a roofer. This is what I do,' but I don't know anything about it. I don't know how to find a leak. I couldn't source it. I
Mm.
couldn't do it. So that was my ambition right there, because I told him, I was like, I'll never have that again. I'll never go out to where I'm like, "Hey, I can't find it. And if I can't find it, I'm gonna find a way, or get my guys out there. We're gonna be able to find it and be able to dictate, because I'm not gonna call myself a roofer and not be able to fix people's roof problems." So that was one thing that got me when I first started. And ever since then, I just educated myself on shingles, roofing, leaks, tracking leaks, leak detection, and things like that. That way I can be able to solve problems and issues when people, no matter who it is, calls me. I can be able to try to help them out.
No, that's great. Yeah, having the ability to be able to help people out. I've been meaning to ask you, that lady that you guys did a free roof for this past year. Can you tell me about that?
We actually did we did two or three of them
Mm,
this year. The first one was in cohorts with Home Matters. They had a thing going on. They asked us if we wanted to be a part. We were like, yes. The lady,
what
what's
is Home
funny is,
Matters?
Home Matters is a radio show that comes on WDUN on Saturdays.
Okay.
They're on from 8 in the morning till 10. So they
Okay.
do two segments, 8 a.m. and then 9 a.m. and then you'll hear 10. They'll do that. It's a great radio show. Great guys. Craig Shoemaker runs it. He's a local agent, also just like you. But Craig runs the radio show, and he's just a great guy. And I got involved with him when I was actually with the previous company I worked for. And then when I went out on my own, he's like, "Hey, I still want you to do it. I still want you to be a part. Come to the radio." So he asked me if we'd be a part of this and go on with him and do that Home Matter show. And then he was like, "Hey, we're going to do this." I had a lady, I got some inspection reports. I sent my home inspector out there. She's having issues with this roof, and she doesn't know what she can do to be able to fix it. Like, Every time it rains, she has water in her house. He's like, every single time. And he's like, so I'm getting together with a group of contractors. We're going to go in and try to fix it. It's kind of like those shows where you see, hey, we're going to donate back and give back. He wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do that. So he had electricians, plumbers, everybody come in, do
Oh
everything
my
they can to
God.
get this homeowner back.
Wow.
And so he's like, do you want to be a part? And I was like, yeah, duh. I was like, I love being able to help. But I'm gonna tell you, it's funny how God works. When I was with the previous company, I went to this lady's house and she had a leak, and I gave her an estimate for the roof. And I really couldn't do much else besides give an estimate. Hey, this is what it costs. And didn't have the abilities that I do now. And I was like, hey, this is what it costs to do the roof. And I was like, we can finance it. We can do this. And she was like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do. I don't really know if I can afford it. That same homeowner is the lady I did a roof for free. A
What?
year later, based off of him, because he called me and was like, hey, you want to help out? And I just said, yeah. Ended up doing her roof for free. So tell me God doesn't
Wow.
work in mysterious ways, that, hey, he sent you there for a reason, and then he's going to send you right back and be like, hey, you didn't do what I did the first time. Go back, do it, take care of it, because, hey,
Dang,
you're
dude, that
meant to
gives
be
me
there. So,
goosebumps.
yeah, so it was crazy, because I went back and he was like, hey, meet me over at this house. And I pull up and I'm like, I was here a year ago. But he put me in a position to where, hey, I have my own business. I could make the choices to where I wanted to make them, and I could go back in and be like, hey, we're going to donate this roof. The other roof was actually for a lady, and she's like a mom, because she practically, like, I grew up with her kids through school year and everything else. And she had asked me also, my roof's leaking, what can I do? And she didn't have insurance or anything like that. And so I was like, well, let me see what we can do. I gave her an estimate. And like I said, it was really funny. Another year, she's like, hey, it's blowing. I have shingles missing. We really got to get something fixed. She's like, I just don't know what you do. She's like, do you know of any programs that will be able to help? You know, my husband was in the military and things like that. And I was like, yeah, let me check on it. So I got with her son. It's funny. I got with her son, and I know her boys. And I was like, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. I was like, I'm going to do your mom's roof for free. I was like, but I need y'all to distract her and take her out of the house for where she don't know.
Dang.
So one of the sons had her babysit had her babysit at the house for the kids. And I would text him and be like, hey, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And then finally I was like, hey, you're good to go. So the boys ended up meeting the mom over there, and she came up just as we were finishing and literally stopped her car in the middle of the road, just stopped. And it was like, it's crazy. And I tell you, you talk about God-fearing woman, this lady will lay the Holy Ghost on you. But she's an awesome lady. She is great. And I mean, it's just awesome to be able to give back and help people, and just be like, hey, here you go. Like, I mean, we want nothing in return. Like, there you go. And usually we don't really talk about it, except like when people ask, like you asked or something like
Yeah,
that, just
yeah.
because we just feel like, when you do stuff, you don't have to tell everybody what you do. You just do it.
The pastor was talking about that this past Sunday, and it's in the Bible that you do it in secret, and he said God cannot keep a secret. Like you do
Yeah,
some good in secret, he's gonna reward you in public. You
yeah,
know.
and that's it. And my wife's huge on that. Like she gets, so she'll be like, "Hey, we're doing this. We're not telling nobody. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we do, because we just feel like if you do it for the right reasons, you shouldn't have to tell nobody,
yeah.
because you're doing it
Absolutely.
for. And like, man, and sometimes, I mean, giving back feels so good.
Yeah,
I mean, to be able to give people stuff. Me and you talk about this all the time. Like, to be able to give back, like the single moms. Like, my mom was
yeah,
a single mom, so I love helping single moms, because my mom was one, and I just saw how sometimes she would struggle and like things like that. But she worked hard for us, so I just love being able to do certain things and give back to families and help people and things like that, just because God's given me the opportunity to.
yeah.
So I feel like I shouldn't waste the opportunity. Like, I mean, and people always talk about the money and stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you going to do? You can't take it with you.
Yeah.
Like, I think Denzel Washington said it best. He's like, I've never seen a U-Haul or a Brinks truck behind a hearse. So,
That's right.
so you can't take it with you. So why not do everything we can right now to help everybody, and don't say, "Oh man, I will next time," or maybe
Yeah,
next time. Hey, I mean, if you have the chance, just do it.
yeah, yeah. No, thank God that he connected us, and together we have done some things to help people. Hopefully we can do even more, as we go.
Yes, sir.
That's great. What are you doing for the rest of today?
I started in Hartwell, went to Gainesville, Lula, Marietta, going to Houston. Then I got to go to Winder, then Commerce, and then pick my daughters up from cheerleading.
Dang, that's a lot of driving and still be a daddy.
Hey,
That's
that's why
awesome.
I wake up early, for I can get in the morning,
Yeah,
do what
you
I got
have
to
to.
do,
Yeah,
and then be home with them at night. That way I can get
yeah,
those daddy daughter hugs.
that's awesome. What time do you try to be at home every day?
I try to be at home about 6:30, 7. My wife works too, so we get home usually about the same time. So I
Yeah.
mean, I try to make it to where she ain't by herself with 5 kids, but if she is, I try to get there and I'll just say I'm gonna slide in or do this. But she's like, I mean, you talk about a rock and support system. She's huge on it. She's like, hey, go do this, go do that. So I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything of what I do without her and my kids. So I mean, I
Yeah,
owe them everything.
yeah, and you got 5 kids, right?
Yeah, 5.
That's
Everybody
awesome.
always asks, "Are we done?" They're like, "Are you done?" I'm like, "I don't know. I thought we were done at 2, and then 5 came. So I mean, hey,
No, that's great there. That's a blessing, and you're doing everything to provide and give them a great life, and hopefully they'll appreciate that one day.
yes, sir, yes, sir. That's our job is to, show them the right way. I always said my goal in owning my business is to be able to give my kids opportunities without them having to beg somebody else for one.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, to be able to, if they want to do something and they want to do it, and the opportunity is right and they're doing the right things, I feel like, I mean, I work hard, and I'm like, I want to be able to give them those opportunities. That way, they're not sitting one day begging somebody for an opportunity that they deserve. So
Yeah.
that's my goal.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. Anything else you want to add?
If you got a roof leak, call Georgia Select Roofing. You already
You already
know.
know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
That's
it.
awesome.
Nah, I mean, hey, I really appreciate you and our friendship. And I mean,
Yeah.
outside of just
Oh yeah.
like working and things like that, me and you've had personal talk. So, I
Oh yeah.
mean, like, it's bigger than that. And you're a big part of my business, like what you've taught me. And hey, do this. I remember first having lunch with you at Panera Bread, and I ain't never ate there before. You're like, well, let's go
Yeah.
Panera Bread. I'm like, ugh, what do they have, bread? But
Yeah.
nah, I appreciate you more than you know, and more than I can ever get back. So just so you know, hey, you're a great man. I
No,
appreciate
same
you.
here. Likewise, for sure. But thank you for joining us on this chat today. Thank you for being part of the Chronicles of Romero Real Estate. See you on the next one.
Yes, sir. Peace.